I am Talita. I have a marketing agency in Nearly Beach, so I assist companies with their marketing, online, offline, advertising, branding, all that kind of thing. The lovely gentleman that you can see on the screen is Ben, and Ben is my SEO colleague who helps me with my clients. He's based in Sydney, which is why he is here, not here. So, but he can hear you all, so just be aware of that. And we've got the misfits just arriving. Just watch out. So I guess just to quickly introduce what we're going to chat about today. As I mentioned, I am a marketing consultant, and usually in one way or the other, it always comes back. The website is always discussed as part of our strategy or plan or marketing as a whole for each company that I chat to and client that I chat to. And in my view, your website is your most valuable marketing tool because it's the only place you have 100% of your client's attention all the time. And you think about it, when you have your Facebook advertising, it's still great. When you have your print advertising, there's 1,000 things screaming at your customers to get their attention away from your page. When they've gone to your website, they've gone there looking for something, they've gone there looking for information about you or your business or your products or services. So two things can happen there. Either you present a really good argument and they go there and they get what they want, or based on what you're saying, potentially the error might be that they go there and they can't find what they want either, and that's the solution we're trying to find today. So by having a good SEO strategy around that and being found for what you do, Google view you favorably, and there's ways that you can get a few inroads there when it comes to SEO. Now, SEO is a complete dark art, and I'm not going to for a minute pretend that I'm the expert. This is the Harry Potter era of SEO. He is definitely the one that's going to help us, and it's Ben's full-time job. So he's across the things that change, and as I'm sure you're all aware, it changes pretty fast. So Ben's going to give us a bit of a rundown today as to what it is, how it works, a few things you can look at within your own website so that you can go and make a few assessments. And at the end, if you have any questions, we'll get you to ask. Now, because of this format, what we'll do is if you have a question, just say it out loud and I'll repeat it to Ben because the microphone's there, obviously. So just so that it's nice and clear for him. We are recording this today too, so it will be online for you to have a look at the recording later. It all goes to plan. Technology doesn't plan with me. I've been a bit pat on a hot tin roof because I'm worried about this speaker, but bear with if that happens. I will send you out the link and you can watch it again down the track if you want to go back and revisit a few things. So does anyone have any questions before we start? Take it away, Ben! Oh, by the way, sorry, please hold. This is as loud as it goes. So unfortunately, listening girls, he'll talk a lot louder than he is. Right, scream.
Yes, hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, fantastic. Yeah, as Talita said, my name is Ben. I deal with SEO. Thank you all for having me, and thank you all for taking time out of your businesses to come and listen to me talk for about 40 minutes or so about SEO and why it's important and why I'm so passionate about it. So thank you all. All right, so what I'll do is I'll bring up the slides. If you could tell me if you can see this.
Just your face. Oh, there we go. Here it comes.
It comes through?
Yep. Yep.
All right. Are you guys seeing it in presenter mode, or are you guys seeing?
Just not in full screen yet, just in your, yep, now it's gone. Yep, there you go. Done.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. So as you can see here, SEO 101, Introduction to Search Engine Optimization. Can I get a show of hands as to who actually knows what SEO is or has heard of it, at least?
You can see you.
1, 2, okay. 3, okay, fantastic. All right, so for the majority of you, it's going to be something new. And for the ones who already know about it, hopefully I can add value to you guys in that way. All right, so what we're going to be talking about today is today's digital landscape. We're also going to be talking about what actually is SEO for those who don't know what it is. We're also going to talk about what determines the search engine results page, what determines the order you appear on that page. We're going to talk about quick tips to improve your online presence, and also as well how SEO can help your individual businesses. And at the end, we'll open up to a question and answer, as I said. But if you guys do have questions throughout, please ask. I don't want to leave anyone behind. I want you guys to keep up with it. And so ensuring that we're all on the same page. Fair enough? Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. So the internet with live statistics. So before we go any further, what I want to show you is just a quick look at live internet statistics. If it wants to open up for me. Can you guys see that?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, okay. So what this is a snapshot of what is actually going on today on the internet. So as you can see where my mouse is, we've got 3,780,000,000,000 and so forth users on the internet right now. So a ton of people are on there.
Hang on, I'm just going to log on.
Yep. Okay, and the second part is that I really want to focus on is the number of searches on Google today. So as you can see there, we've got 3 billion plus searches, and that's rapidly rising on Google. And you can see people are actively going out and searching for whatever it is they're looking for, whether it be services, products, they want to know celebrity information, whatever it is, it's all on Google right now. That's what's happening right now with Google. So if I flip back to my slide quickly.
Deb just said, imagine having that market share, Ben.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah. And it's a huge market out there. And so there's a ton of people on there waiting to, I guess, join your businesses or take your products up and services. So that's where SEO comes in. Now, if you recall, if you guys are old enough to remember, prior to search engines, we had the yellow pages. If you guys remember those big chunky
yes.
as doorstops.
They're also young.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, that's no longer the case. When people want to know about a particular product or service, if the pipe breaks in the house or whatever it is, they're taking out their phones, they're going on their devices, their laptops, their tablets, whatever it is, and they're going for search engines. So as you can see here are just some of the search engines that are available. We've got the main ones, which are Google, Yahoo, and Bing, and maybe some more unknown ones like DuckDuckGo and Dogpile. That's where your customers are finding you potentially. Which brings me to exactly what is SEO. Now, in saying that what I said before about search engines, as I said with devices, majority of people, I would assume, and hopefully you guys agree, use their phones for products or services. If a pipe breaks in the house, you're taking out your phone, you're trying to find a plumber or whatever it is. Would you agree? Yeah, okay, fantastic. All right, so this would be the page that you see on your phone or on your laptop or whatever device you're looking at. So as you can see here at the top, we've got plumbers in Brisbane, and your page is actually broken down into 3 sections, even though you may not see it. The top section is the paid section. The middle section is your map pack, and the bottom section are your organic search results. What we're going to be focusing on is the bottom section, which are organic search results, and that's what SEO comes in. The top section, which is paid, are AdWords. Does anyone here use AdWords? Yeah. Yep. Some people. The map pack in the middle is a combination of both. So it's AdWords and SEO, but the majority of searches in the map pack, and it's going that direction, comes through SEO. Don't worry if you don't understand what SEO is at this point. I'll explain in a second. All right, so other than search SEO, which we just looked at, there's also video SEO or video search, which can come with SEO. You've got maps, and you've also got images. So these are other ways that we can implement SEO to get you to the top of Google. The value of SEO and why it's a must-have for your business. So these are some of the latest results that I've acquired just before this meeting, and some of that maybe shock you. The first one being is that search engines are the #1 driver for traffic to websites, beating social media by more than 300%. So if you're someone that only advertises through Facebook, you're potentially missing out on a ton of potential customers to your business. The second one I want to point out is that 70 to 80% of users ignore paid search ads and click on organic search results instead. How many people in this room have skipped a YouTube video in the last week or so? Yes, no? Some? Yes?
One. So do you mean, Ben, you mean the ads at the front of the YouTube video?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yep.
I think you can really hear all of the girls, can't you, when they talk? So just
yes, I can, yeah. Yeah, and if you're not already aware, you can actually pay to have those ads removed. So that's the way that we're going. We're skipping ads, we're getting Netflix, we're looking at ways to avoid ads. So it's not surprising that the majority of people see those ads at the top of Google, they develop banner blindness, and they go right down to the organic search results. The third thing I want to talk about is 75% of users never scroll past the first page of search results. If you are in a particular business, if you're in a if you're in the tourism business and your website is on page 6 of search results for, say, tourism in Ellie Beach, you're not going to get found by 75% of users. They're not going to go past the first page. They'll look at the content on page 1. Again, potentially missing out on a whole bunch of customers that could potentially boost your business. We've also got SEO leads, and this is again with data that I've acquired. SEO leads have a 14.6% close rate, while outbound leads such as direct mail, print advertising have a 1.7% close rate. So those are different marketing strategies. And the last one is websites on page 1 of search results get 95% of the traffic for the phrase being searched for. And there's a source at the bottom if you want to verify that data. So hopefully that's a little bit eye-opening as to why you need to have SEO in your business. And if it's not clear already, you want to be focused, you want to be on page 1 of Google for your particular niche. Make sense?
Yep. Yeah. Cool.
Any questions so far?
Questions, girls? No.
Nope.
Welcome,
All right. Okay. Fantastic. All right. So what actually determines the search engine results page order? That's probably the big question at the moment. The first thing out of 2 things, before we get to it, skip ahead, but there are a whole bunch of factors that go into SEO and what determines the order you display in on Google. But I'm only going to focus on two today. And these are the 2 main ones according to Google. And the first one being how good looking you are. All right, we've got Homer Simpson there. Yep. What does that mean in terms of Google? So this is an example of a website that I pulled up. So as you can see, it's Visit Brisbane. Looks great. You've got a colorful banner there. You've got, colorful links, content, which is hopefully relevant. That's how you see your website. That's how your customers see your website. This is your website. Google sees your website completely differently. This is how Google sees your website. It's just, Google is a machine. It's not a person. It reads text. And what Google is looking for is relevant content that goes along with whatever search that the user puts in on Google. And in saying that, what makes you attractive to Google is quality content. Like I said, you want your content to be unique and relevant. If your content is about tourism in Brisbane, you want that content to be relevant to tourism in Brisbane. You don't want, your link on Google to say that, click here for the best tourism spots in Brisbane, and you click through and it's about, dog shows in Brisbane, for example. Keywords are important as well. The keywords that people are searching for, you want that to appear in your content. The next thing is HTML, so page titles, which on the next slide here, you can see. So if you look at the top there, you've got Visit Brisbane, Eat, Drink, Shop, Play and Stay, which is a page title. And you've got a meta description below that, which talks about the title itself. You want that information to sync up with your keywords that you're going after. And I'll explain a little bit more about keywords in a little bit anyway. That's where we're at with that. Yeah. Yes.
When we say keyword needs to be relevant and loaded into content, how
Mm-hmm.
many times should you say Ellie Beach in the content? How often should you repeat that?
Excellent question. I'm glad you asked that. You don't want to keyword stuff. You don't want to put Ellie Beach like 100 times in the content, because from Google's perspective, it comes across as Google stuffing and it reads as spam. And so what Google does is potentially look at that and say, right, this person is just looking to get hits. The content doesn't appear as relevant as other searches. Will either drop you in search, penalize you, or in extreme cases, de-index you altogether, which you don't want to do.
Okay, so that's using the extreme example of Ellie Beach. So I'll bring it back to me to be relevant. I've got a clothing store, so do I put that brand in 4 or 5 times, or do I put in cotton dress, or do I put in summer dress that's not specifically spamming Ellie Beach?
You can put it in 4 or 5 times. If you have content on your website, say about 1,000 pages, if you're putting in it about 4, 5, 6 times, it's not gonna hurt you. What I'm saying is if you load that in like 20, 30 times, that particular phrase, LEB,
Yeah. So just read it like a human. Yeah, read it exactly. Read it like a human will read it, not the way that you want to, pump that word through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can we get a copy of this presentation? Yes.
We'll just wait till the end, thanks.
Yeah.
I don't want you there.
Sorry, I have another question. If I am trying to figure out what my ranking is, will my devices bias me?
I'm sorry, I can't.
So
No, no.
if Deb is trying to figure out what her Google ranking is, will her devices bias her result?
Yes. So if you're using your own devices and you're using straight Google and you're searching your business or a particular keyword, say plumbers in Brisbane, if it's for your advice, you already have cache set up to that business, so you're going to rank higher. The way to avoid that is you want to use incognito mode, so private searching mode, and what that does is it searches without cache.
Do
So
you
it gives
know how do we do that? Could you please flick to your Google and show the girls how to do incognito mode? Sorry, mate.
Yes. No, you're right.
We'll just do an active action here. It's very easy to use, and it just basically means that there's no history. So what Deb was asking, it would draw from that recent history.
Yeah. So can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So all you have to do is go to File, New Incognito Mode.
You can't quite see it. So if you go up to File, girls, and hit, you'll see New Incognito Mode. Or the other way, is that Chrome, Ben? It is, isn't it?
It is Chrome. Let me quickly show you what that is. I'm sure I can share it. Here we go. Can you see that?
So it's just showing you you've gone incognito. So the screen goes black. It's still all the same. Everything's exactly the same. It's just got no history. It's not going to record what you're doing.
You can do it really easy as well. You just click private.
Yeah.
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 That's all it is. Yeah. If you search that way, you'll get more accurate results.
There you go, Deb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, lovely. Yeah, I will.
I wondered what it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Cool. Any other questions? Or are you Deb's busy searching your business?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Are you on an iPhone?
No.
Oh, sorry. I'm an iPhone.
That's all right. We'll make it out later. The next lesson we do, Ben, will be about iPhones, so we'll get right on that. All right. Carry on, please, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Can you see the present?
Yeah, back to the presentation. Yep.
Fantastic. All right. So, in saying that as well, I think we're up to use of headers. Make sure your website has headers. The font is H1. You want to have that displaying what your website is actually about. So in this instance, visit Brisbane, eat, drink, shop, play, and stay. You'd want that as your header. You can put multiple headers on a page, H1 font, but you don't want to load the page with headers. If you load the page with headers, Google reads it as, again, spammy and potentially can drop your ranking.
Can I just jump in, Ben, for a second? So what Ben's talking about is in the back end of your website, you have a choice as to what you want the font to look like, and often there'll be a H1 choice. And within the actual settings of your theme or whatever, you can choose what that will look like. But by nominating it as a H1, you're saying, hey, Google, this is my header, and this is what I want to talk about. So by nominating it as a H1, that's perfectly what Ben does. So when you do the drop down, you'll see H1, H2, H3, normal content, paragraph, quote, all those kind of things. Does that ring any bells? Yep. Well, there you go.
When we're setting up those headers, do we have to put in cotton dresses, maxi dresses, or can we just put in cotton, maxi, whatever?
You might be putting Ellie Beach's store for cotton maxi dresses, and you just make that your header, if that's your relevant keywords. But you have to title it your header so that Google's looking for the header of that page, and that's indicative of what is in the page in terms of content. Is that right, Ben?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
Is the header the description? Like,
So I need to put the
title.
yeah, it's your title, effectively, yeah. So you'd be Ellie Beach photographer, or Ellie Beach wedding specialist, or photography specialist, or something like that. As long as it's you've highlighted that, Deb, and you've like made that your H1, then it's like, hey Google, this is my header for my page. And so it's one of the sort of 4 key things. Your page title, meta descriptions. It's one of those key things that you need to include.
like subheaders, like things like it's not just.
That's right.
I get that, but it's more, it's like a whole sentence really then. Can we just then abbreviate that to?
So you probably, would you then, Ben, potentially have like a H1 heading, and then you'd have potentially a H2 is also something Google reads. So
Yeah. The H1 heading, as I said, is the header, but if you go underneath it with the H2 or whatever it is, that's fine as well. You just want to ensure
your key set, like Ellie Beach wedding specialist photographer, whatever it might be, and then you might have the sentences as your H2, which is then still saying, hey Google, really important information I want you to pay attention to, but you have to have a heading on your page because
I just think from a consumer's perspective, I'm going to be bored shitless looking at someone's website that's got, you know, cotton dresses early beach, maxi dresses early beach, whatever. I just want to see what is important to me right now.
Yeah, that's right. But honestly, if you're searching those terms, Deb, and you go to that website and you're getting results based on what you've put in, and the results are what you've, do you see what I mean?
I do, but I'm just wondering, is what we put in as the header, does that have to be what's visible to the client?
Oh, okay. So, right, that makes sense. So, Ben, do you have to, like, what you actually title as the header, does that actually have to be the words on the page? Is that what you mean? Or can you change that?
To simplify it, like it has to be relevant to the website. So if you just put, I don't know, what's a business name out there?
Tropics Photography is Deb's business name. So TROPIX, Tropics Photography.
Yeah. Yep. Tropics Photography. Yeah. If that's the header, if you want to leave it as that, that's fine. Other people have headers like, you know, we maximize your photography needs through online search or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's a header. You can put your brand name, or you can put like a phrase or something that encapsulates what your business offering is.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, can I just add to that? If you're saying you can format your header text,
yep,
you can just select a part of your actual
paragraph.
Yeah, like a paragraph, and make that header. And it's not going to appear like a header.
Can you do?
You're telling Google it's a header. Can you do that?
I think it would change your formatting knowing the way it's presented.
But can't you go back and change your header format?
You probably could. So Ben, if you were to highlight, say you had a sentence about dresses and you highlighted Early Beach dresses, and then you made that your header text, like you titled it and what do you call it? Formatted it as header text. Would that then, even if it looked like paragraph text but it was header text, would that be okay?
That's fine. Yeah. I don't want to scare anyone. It's important, but it's not the be all end all. It's not gonna. Google's not gonna say, right, there's no header on this. Let's not rank this site at all. Let's just remove it from Google. It's not that important. These are just things that Google looks at. It's like anything else. It's like if you go out and watch a movie, you might like certain parts of a movie, you might not like the entire movie, but you might like parts of it. But these are the things that make Google make you appear attractive to Google.
Yeah.
So don't freak out, please.
And the other thing too is that, you know, you talk about boring stuff for the consumer's perspective. One of the things is meta descriptions and tags. So your photos also have a description. So instead of having a header like H1, you might have the description behind the photo, which is what Google's looking for as well. So that's another way to get around it. But onward. Thank you, Ben. Sorry. Carry on.
All good. So everyone's on the same page at this point?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. All right. So the next thing is trustworthiness and history. What that basically means is your website what it says it is? Again, going back to the previous example, if I look up, you know, tourism in Brisbane and I click through and it's a website about shoes, it's not really trustworthy. And from Google, who wants their users to have the best experience possible because they want to remain the #1 search engine, they're not going to rank their website very highly. And also as well, a website like, you know, tourism in Brisbane, 6 months ago, if that was a website about shoes and 6 months prior to that was about, I don't know, sporting events, it's not consistent. So Google potentially will look at that as a potential flag.
Yep.
Make sense?
Yep.
Yep. And the last thing that I really want to touch on is just make sure your URLs are friendly, or SEO friendly, sorry. And if you guys can see the screen, can you see at the bottom of the screen there?
Yep.
All right. So we've got www.example.com/red-wine. From a Google perspective and an SEO perspective, that's awesome. So Google reads that as, you know, a website. It's about red wine. Hopefully your title and metadata matches that. And so when you come through the website, it's about red wine, and, you know, images on the page and the description of the page about red wine. The second example there is, you know, www.example.com/red-wine, but there's a whole bunch of jargon after that. Yeah, don't have that. Clean that up. It's not impossible. Yeah, it's not impossible to rank with that, but I would recommend you go against that because, again, if you want Google to read your website cleanly and efficiently, that type of stuff is not what you want.
Why would we have that?
How would you change it?
That's a default.
How would you change? Yeah.
Yeah, how does it, why would that happen on your website anyway? Sometimes your theme does throw these things in there, doesn't it?
It's to do a number of things. So it happens sometimes if your website's encrypted. If you encrypt your website and you don't make the changes in the back end, it appears like that.
The best thing to do is just as you're browsing through your own site, have a look, see what it actually says in the URL. And if you see it in a few, there's probably a setting inside back in your website you can go and see all your URLs, and you can quickly see whether or not they're like nice and clean, like red wine, or a little bit more complicated and harder for Google to sort of digest and understand. So that would be definitely a takeaway activity. You can say, go and check out your URLs and make sure they're all clean and tidy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they're not, you can't fix them yourself before you web developer, I would think, because there might be some underlying connection that you need to be aware of.
Yeah, you would see the majority of that kind of stuff on like more secure websites. If you are, if you bank with say Combank, I know I bank with Combank and I go on NetBank and I type in my details and I eventually go through a page. It's not uncommon to see a bunch of Scribe like that, and that's meaning that page is a more secure website. And Combank is not looking to rank my personal NetBank account. So, yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, that's what that pretty much is. Again, don't worry too much about that kind of stuff, but it's, again, what makes you attractive to Google, things you can do to get some quick wins.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
All good.
Moving on, the second thing, spoilers, we looked at how attractive you are to Google. Now we're going to look at the quality of your friends, and hopefully we all remember these 6 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what does that mean in terms of quality of friends and how that appears on Google? The best way for me to actually explain that to you is actually using the case of Winnie the Pooh. So hopefully everyone knows Winnie the Pooh. I grew up with Winnie the Pooh. I love Winnie the Pooh. Other than his friends, and you guys can call it out, what does Winnie love? Honey, exactly. And as you can see in this picture, he's running out of honey. He's trying to get the last drop. But luckily for Winnie, he has potential sellers of honey. And these are his good friends, Tigger and Piglet. Okay, so these people have actually gone into the honey business and they're looking to sell their honey to Winnie the Pooh. So quality of friends. So what Tigger's done is he's taken his honey, he's gone to Winnie the Pooh, he's told Winnie the Pooh, yeah, yep, my honey is the best on the market, you need to take it up, it's fantastic, it'll change your life. And after doing that, Tigger's got some awesome friends as well. He's got some friends that really want to vouch for him, they want to go out of their way and tell Winnie the Pooh that, yes, his honey is the best honey on the market. The first friend we have is a mad scientist who approaches Winnie and says, yes, this honey is the best. And if you can see underneath that, you can see he's got a 2 there, and that 2 is out of 100. So in terms of social status, this mad scientist is a 2 out of 100. The next one is the drunken cat. Same thing, went to Winnie the Pooh, told Winnie that, yep, this is the person that you want for your honey. Drunken cat has a 5 out of 100 social status. Next one is the angry monkey, 10. And we've got Stewie from Family Guy with a 1 out of 100. So these are Tigger's friends that have vouched for him to Winnie the Pooh. On the flip side with Piglet, Piglet's done the exact same thing. He's gone to Winnie the Pooh and said, right, you need to have my honey. It's the best on the market. You'll love it. It's going to be fantastic. It'll change your life. Piglet also has fantastic friends as well that want to vouch for him. But now Piglet's friends, unlike Tigger's, have actually transcended realities and they're actually real world friends. So the first friend is Matt Damon with a 85 out of 100 score. We've got Julia Roberts with 88 out of 100. Oprah Winfrey, 99. And we've got Tony Robbins at 95. So based on those recommendations, who do we all think is the person Winnie's going to go with? Piglet. Yeah, exactly. And that's essentially how SEO works in a nutshell. If we were to use real world examples, if Google's the person we're trying to sell and we've got a financial advisor A, looking to sell financial advice to the marketplace, they've gone on Google, they've set up their website and they're saying, yep, I offer the best services. And they have links coming into their website from various sources. So the first source is this guy. Now, I'm sure you all know who this person is. You probably have received emails from this person. This is the prince from Nigeria, looking to set you up in great deals for your business or whatever it is. So that person has a 2 out of 100 score on Google in terms of authority. Next, we have suspect businessman with a 1 out of 100. We have an unknown blogger, and we have a spammer. So links going to our website, to this financial planner's website with relatively low authority scores. On the flip side, we have financial planner B, but this person has links going to the website from more high authority websites. And the more high authority websites you have going to your websites, the better. They have Ernst & Young with 85 out of 100, PwC 98, Deloitte with 80, and KPMG at 95. So based on these two, from Google's perspective, if I'm Google and I want to give my users the best experience, I want to get them the most relevant results, I'm going to rank this person higher than Financial Planner A.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Is there any questions out of that?
How do we get those friends?
How do we get those friends? Yep, great question. I'm actually going to go into that right now. So, happy to proceed?
Deb wants me.
All right, so we'll go into it. So we've got quick tips to improve your online presence today. The first thing you want to look at is social media. And before I get into social media, now you don't have to use every form of social media that I go through. You really don't. What we're looking at is getting quality juice out of these social media profiles, which a lot of the time do have really high authority. We want to get them pointed at your website so that Google realizes that, hey, this person's business is relevant. They've got profiles pointed at this website. Let's rank them higher. So on this page, you've got Facebook. So bare minimum, I would encourage you to get Facebook. If you don't already have it, make sure your website URL is in it, and so that it's you're getting a link from Facebook to your website. And Facebook, in terms of those examples I gave earlier, that is the Oprah Winfrey of online. If you want 99 out of 100, that's what you want to get. Cool. We've also got Twitter. Again, if you don't use Twitter, you don't need to use it, but I'd encourage you to set it up and just point it at your website. Other properties are LinkedIn. YouTube's a big one as well. If you don't already know, Google owns YouTube. So if you're Google, why wouldn't you want to rank your links from Google, YouTube higher? Pinterest, Snapchat, Google+, and there are tons of others. But yeah, bare minimum, I think I would highly encourage you to get social media pointed to your website. Again, really want to stress this. You don't have to use it. As long as it's pointed to your website, it's giving you juice. Another thing as well is, sorry?
Sorry, does Google figure out that we set it up and point it to our website and do nothing with it, and then that becomes redundant, or does it not care?
It doesn't care. Not with social profiles. And the reason being is because these are high authority, highly established profiles. So Facebook, almost everyone has a Facebook set up. And like I said, it has an authority of 99. The individual page itself that you set up may have an authority of 1. But if you look at the bigger picture, which is Facebook, it's juice to your website. And I don't mean to get too technical about it. You don't need to know that, but if you have a Facebook page, it'll point to your website and you'll get juice. Does that make sense? Yes.
Yep, another question.
With the YouTube presence, if you don't do videos, can you have a YouTube presence? Like, can you set yourself up to have a YouTube?
Yeah.
Of course you can. You can set up a channel. You can set up a channel, and if you look at the top right of YouTube, there's actually places for you to place a website and other properties you may have, like Facebook or whatever it is.
Yeah, but you might also, I have to have a look at this, but instead of it being your own videos, you could possibly create feeds around things that you like that are relevant to your business, which might be something you could do instead of having to go and get in front of the camera and all the rest of it.
I do that with Facebook.
Yeah. So I'd probably look at it that way when you can. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, if you're really struggling with it and you want to create a YouTube video, you can go out and there are websites online for $5. You can create a video and put it on your website. Or put it on YouTube, so then at least there's something. And as we move towards more video marketing, as time goes on, that may be something that'd be more relevant in the future. Yes.
What I struggle with all of that is, should all the content we're putting on social media start on our website and and then be shared out, or should we be duplicating it, or should we just go straight to social media and then it's going to feed in because we've got links to our website? What do we do here?
Did you get that?
I missed most of it. Sorry.
So basically what Deb's saying, Ben, is from an SEO perspective, is it better, from an SEO perspective, is it better, like say for example you do a piece to camera about a new product or whatever, is it better to do it and then upload it to your website, then or YouTube, and then embed it to the website where and then share it back to your Facebook page, or is it better to just go straight to Facebook, straight to YouTube, and maybe not so much focus on your website? Is that what you mean?
Because we've already got the links from those social media to our website, so I'm just wondering, I don't know, I get confused.
Yeah.
No. I get what you're saying. You're talking about social shares and signals. Is that correct? Like the content you have sharing that.
Should it originate on the website or should it originate on the social media? I
would originate on your website because ultimately that's where you want people to go to.
Yeah.
That's your money site. And social signals are important and shares are important. So if you have content that's being shared from your website through social media, someone's retweeting it, someone's posting it on Facebook, sharing it with their friend group.
Yeah.
That type of stuff sends a signal to Google saying, "Hey, this website is relevant. It's hip. It's now. Let's put a focus on it."
Yeah. And the other thing is too, Deb, when you have it on your website, back to the whole less distractions. If you have it on social media and they click it to go back to your website, you're probably going to get a better interaction with the video link or with them watching it, because you know yourself when you're on Facebook, there's 500 things that are popping up and getting in your way, trying to distract you as you go. You tend to have a shorter attention span there than you do on someone's website.
Yeah, but then I find that the interaction on Facebook is not as good.
Is that, do you mean with the actual?
Well, because they've gone off Facebook onto your website, so they're no longer there to just like it and share.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? And so then I'm kind of like, oh, I'm not getting the love.
Yeah.
From Facebook.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm doing this wrong.
Well, the other thing is to do it in both and measure which works best for you. I mean, at the end of the day, while our perspective is that I would like to see it on your website and then filter through your social channels, because it comes back to your website, which is your space. We don't own Facebook. We can't really, they can turn it off tomorrow. But at the same time, it still has to be relevant to your business. So if you're finding that you're getting more interaction and more things on Facebook, then do it that way. Or the only thing you'd have to double up your analysis. So I think really is because if you did it on Facebook and you did it on your website, which would be great to do both, you'd have to remember that this video is in two places to see what the actual cut through of it was at the end of it. So yeah, I think it's a trial and error thing.
Maybe I just need to measure the love on my website.
Measure that love. Yes,
Bobby. Because we're writing stories on a news page on a blog, is it better to use that to share on social media, or can you share your own page?
So you're asking if you write your blog on your website and then share that link back through social media, and are you better to just write it on social media?
No, are you better to write it on the news page, or have that content that's actually part of your website shared through social media? Which has the best, or are they both worthy of the same quality?
I'm not sure I'm understanding, but if I was writing news as a blog post on your website, then I would share that link through to your Facebook page and your social media channels. I'd probably copy, not just share the link and not say much about it. I'd probably copy, say, 1 or 2 paragraphs, and then I'd say for the rest of this article, click here. Then it sends them back, and then for me that would indicate that it's worthy enough, engaged enough that they've gone to go and read the rest of it. Is that
so? Can you also share content on your site? Say if you've got a site and the page is about the beach, you'd also share that through your social media page?
Yeah, for sure. Because once a week, I mean, depending on who you talk to, the social media sort of benchmark is 30, 30, 30, 10. It's like 30 your content, 30 hard sell, 30 helpful, useful information. 30 your content, 30 helpful, useful info, 30% sharing other people's info. So you might share that Deb has a special, for example, and 10% cute cats and fluff. So in that 10% of your business, you might choose one day a week, you might have a different boat that you want to feature. Yeah, do that, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, and put your Facebook pixel on. Have you got your Facebook pixel on your website? Because then that starts measuring the people that are coming to visit you off Facebook, and you're collecting data about those people as well. So just spy on them. Great.
What's that?
Facebook pixel. That's a whole other thing. Just write that one down and we'll talk about it afterwards. Rightio, Ben, you still with us?
Yes.
Rightio.
I'm here. Good questions. To put a bow on all of it, like, again, don't overthink it. The way Google works, and I probably should have explained this earlier, but the way Google works is Google crawls websites. So it crawls the internet, it crawls Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is. It crawls through that. It goes through links and it finds what's relevant and what's linking to certain things. So if you have content posted on your Facebook, or if you have it on your website, wherever it is, yes, make it relevant on your website and maybe share it through Facebook. But if your Facebook is linking to your website and the content is there, it will crawl it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Got it. This is what I put on.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
So-
I've got a question.
Put it on my Facebook, it goes onto my website. So
Yeah.
it should be on my website. No, but it's already, that's great.
That's the way it's integrated.
So
Yeah.
as soon as I put a post on Facebook, it goes on.
But that's not a bad thing either. It's just updating your
Yeah, it's
website.
just constantly feeding.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. So cool. Radio, you're on.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So we've got social media. Like I said, another thing that everyone should have, again, as a minimum, Google My Business. And that can be found, if you don't already have it set up, is at business.google.com. If you want to appear in the map pack, if you want to appear where people search for services, so whatever that service is, or a restaurant or whatever it is, if you don't have Google My Business set up, you're pretty much not guaranteed not to appear in the map pack. So set it up for your business. You don't have to do anything with it once it's set up. It will just appear there. And when people search for your business or for keywords in the area like restaurants in Airlie Beach, provided you have the appropriate SEO done and links over to your website, you'll appear in the top 3 of the map pack so people can find you. And that's more important on mobile phones, which just because of the way the page folds, where it has the ads at the top and it has the middle section with maps. Make sense? Yep. All right. The third one, and I'm sure the majority of you wouldn't have thought that you could, but you can actually get a link from Apple. So again, as we move more towards voice, I believe Google just released a device that's voice. You can have it in your house and you kind of talk to it and it gives you searches and stuff. You guys know about that? Yeah. Who wouldn't want their business to appear on Siri? So when people take out their phones and say restaurants in Airlie Beach, your business appears on Siri, and that's what this does. And it's also a powerful link straight to your website. It's free. It can be done. It's called Apple Maps Connect, and it can be set up through mapsconnect.apple.com. If you want to write that one down. Okay. Yep. So again, it's a free service. Apple wants to stay up to date. If Google's number 1, Apple's got to be number 2 in terms of companies worldwide. Maybe Amazon it's up there as well. But yeah. So I'll quickly give you a demonstration how easy and quick it is to set up. So all you have to do is punch in your Apple ID and password. If you don't already have one, if you don't use an Apple phone, that's fine. You can always sign up for an account. It's cut off there, but there's actually a link to sign up for an Apple ID. Again, it's free. You search for your business. So in this instance, I've punched in Whit Sunday's Pizza. I'm really hoping that's not a real business, but I've punched that in. And all you do is hit search over here, and more than likely Apple will spit out saying the place was not found, and you click add a new place. You fill in your business details, put your business name, the country, the phone number, whether or not the place is open, the categories, in this instance pizza, and whether or not your business wants to accept Apple Pay. It's up to you if you want to have that as a feature of your business. If you do, you can actually order decals and stick it outside your store or whatever it is. Up to you. Enter your business details. So 12 Waterson Way, Airlie Beach. Again, I really hope this isn't a real business because people will try and find it. Pin your location. Make sure that your location is correct. Punch in your opening hours. Now, before I proceed any further, I just want to quickly point out how important this is. We talked about Google My Business, and we talked about social media and Facebook and things will allow you to punch this in. Make sure this part is consistent. It needs to be exact. It needs to match exactly. Otherwise, from a Google perspective, it doesn't come across as legitimate. So if you're 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, make sure this says Monday to Friday 9 to 5. Facebook says Monday to Friday 9 to 5. Google My Business says Monday to Friday 9 to 5.
Yep.
Make sense? Yeah.
With your business address, can you just put like an area? Like, or does it have to be a specific address?
So Lauralee is a lovely makeup artist, and she would go to various different places, but you don't really have a set studio. She doesn't want people coming to her house. So is there an opportunity to just either put your address in and not have it published, or can she just put a general area?
A big bubble over the whole Sunday region.
Great question. With Google My Business, there's actually an option that says whether or not you serve customers at this location. If you turn that feature off and you find your business on Google, it doesn't actually tell you the exact address, it tells you the area. So it will say like, Airlie Beach, Queensland, and the postcode. For Apple Maps, I don't know if you can turn that feature off, to be honest. I've never had that question before. Apologies.
We'll have a look.
Yeah, have a look at it. Have a look at it and find out. Again, people don't predominantly look through Apple Maps. It's more or less for the voice stuff. So that's where they would find you. And they look for, makeup artists in Airlie Beach, and your business would come up, and there'd be a phone number to call, and they'd call it.
Cool.
Make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions so far? Carry on, please, Ben.
Okay. And the next page, we've got social links for your company. So you want to punch in your website, Yelp. For those who don't know what Yelp is, it's another thing like Google My Business with high authority. So if you don't have Yelp, I'd encourage you to get it. Again, easy to set up. It's biz.yelp.com.
Hang on, let me just look at the link. What is it?
biz. Yeah. Punch in your Facebook, your Twitter, and if you have an app for your business, you can put that information in there as well. Okay. And after you do all that, success, we have increased presence, and there's now a listing for Whitsundays Pizza. I will remove this business after this presentation, don't worry. All right, but that's what it is. So essentially it's there. It will appear there. So your business will appear on Apple with that. Any questions about that, or is that pretty straightforward? Yes.
Sorry, I always have a question. So before, when I was Googling myself, I noticed that I do come up on some maps, but not on others. So for wedding photography, I come up on the map, but commercial photography, I don't. Do I have to set up multiple businesses for all of the different types of business that I do?
Did you get that, Ben?
Kind of.
So basically what Deb's saying is if someone searches for wedding photography, her business shows up on Google Maps, but if they search for commercial photography, her business does not show up on Google Maps. So
Okay.
what's the solution there?
That would be the keyword. So it's the keyword being used. So that goes back to search terms. So whatever your website is ranking better for the first term than the second term.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to do some work on the SEO for those other terms that I'm not.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So, and that's a fantastic segue into the next section. But if anyone has any more questions about...
Good job, well done, Deb. She's bringing it on.
Sorry to all the rest of you. I'm trying to give a shit about my questions. We just leave the room.
Yeah, just wondering if you're free all afternoon, Ben, to sit here and talk to just her.
When are you coming to the Sundays?
I was just saying, Deb's wondering if you're free all afternoon just to talk directly to her, because she's going to hang around after the thing for like 3 hours. Is that okay?
Hey, we'll have a Q&A section at the end of this. So if you have more questions, I'm happy to ask them.
Alrighty.
Okay. All right. So in line with what Deb's saying, again, excellent transition. How SEO can help your businesses. Okay, so this goes into keywords. And what I'm going to use is a real world example. Again, I don't know how many people here are from the tourism industry. Is anyone here from tourism?
Yeah,
No?
quite a few. Yeah, half. About half.
Yeah. Half? Okay, fantastic. All right, so this is a real world example based on search terms for Airlie Beach accommodation. And I'll go through it with you. And so just follow along. At the end, it will make sense. But if you just follow along with me, it will make sense. And if you have questions at the end, I'm happy to answer them. So the keyword itself, Airlie Beach accommodation, if someone were to search that online, this is what would come up. Sorry, the number of searches for this search term per month are 8,100. Okay, that's people typing in that exact keyword on Google, and that's the amount of searches. Now that information is available through Google. You can go through Google Keyword Planner to have a look for yourself, but that's the number of searches on average per month. A number of studies have shown, and even Google themselves, if you ask them directly, will tell you that if you are the #1 website on Google, you're expecting about a 40% click-through rate. So to your website, if you are #1 for a certain search term, in this instance, Airlie Beach accommodation, you're going to expect 3,240 visitors to your website per month. Make sense so far?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Now, Google themselves, through AdWords, they charge for traffic. So the pay-per-click value for this particular search term is $2.82 per click. So if you were to go to Google and buy it directly, that's how much it would cost per click. Who loves maths? Just so I can... No one loves maths?
Love maths. We all
Love
love
maths?
We love
We all
money. We love money. And
Fantastic. All right, cool. So I'm not a huge maths guy, but hopefully this makes sense. So if we're looking at the value of traffic, if we multiply the number of searches, 8,100 by 40% click-through rate, and multiply that again by the cost per click at $2.82, the cost of this traffic, if you were to buy it directly from Google, which you can, is $9,136.80 per month. But again, going back to our previous example, AdWords, there just isn't as much traffic through that. So you're not going to get anywhere near this amount of click-through if you were to spend that kind of money through Google. Okay. And does that page make sense?
Well, so yeah, depends how much your accommodation is though. If you've got high, accommodation is really expensive, then you'd be happy to pay $9,000.
well, this is the, oh, look at you go. You're ahead of the game,
You get
Jules.
so many, yeah, I'd be like, oh, $1,000
Go to the
a
next
night,
slide,
isn't it?
Ben. Go to the next slide.
All right.
Show-
Okay. So, yeah. So in line with what Deb was saying, Deb was talking about how she comes up for one thing on the maps and not the other thing.
Yeah.
What we do with SEO is we stack keywords. So if you look at the first one, the bulk of the searches are coming through Airlie Beach accommodation. We've got 8,100 searches per month at 40% traffic at $2.82. The value of that keyword is $9,136.80. Underneath that, we have at 880 searches per month, Airlie Beach accommodation, where a lot of people are misspelling it, but that's where it is. 40% click-through rate. Now, Google values this traffic a little bit higher. It's $3.09, and the keyword value is 1,088 for that particular keyword. We've also got other examples underneath: Airlie Beach Hotel, Airlie Beach Motel, and the fifth one is a more longer tail keyword, Airlie Beach Hotel, Airlie Beach Queensland, which has 170 searches per month. And if we look at the totals, the total keyword value of all 5 search terms, according to Google, is 12,838.64. The average monthly searches for all 5 are 12,890. But the amount of traffic on 40% click-through, if you are #1 on Google, is 5,156 leads per month. Who wouldn't want that for their business?
That's all right.
Yeah. Potentially more than a lot of people can handle. But that's what it looks like. So what does that actually mean? So in this instance, and I had to do a bit of research to find out, median prices or whatever it is, but according to whatif.com, the average price for 4 nights accommodation in Airlie Beach is $750. If we multiply 556 leads at 5% conversion, so 5% people actually go on the website, actually agree to get leads, agree to get accommodation, you're looking at 257 bookings per month if your business can support it. Yeah. $750 multiplied by 257, you're looking at a potential revenue of $192,750 per month, which potentially could be life-changing. And that's the power of being number one on Google.
Make sense? Yeah. Show you the opportunities that are there, I suppose.
Sorry?
Yeah. I'm just explaining. I'm like excited about that figure.
Yeah. So that's just one particular niche. There are a ton of other niches out there. If you're a medical practitioner or whatever it is, you're looking at similar results potentially. If you're in the roofing business, for example, I know that a friend of mine who was in the roofing business, he charges $3,000 for an average job per roofing client. If he gets 2 successful leads per month, that's $6,000 per month that's in his pocket. He's pretty good at what he does. He gets about 5 or 6 a month.
Stand by, Ben. Got a question.
I think I glazed over somewhere. So are you referring to purchasing keywords or are you referring to advertising? AdWords.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is in relation to organic search. So AdWords will not get you this kind of traffic. It just won't. And again, this goes back to banner blindness and people just not clicking on AdWords. So you can pay, whatever that figure I gave you was, $12,838.64 per month to get your business at the top of Google for these particular search terms. But in terms of click-through rate, you're not going to get 40% traffic.
So
you just not.
I'm sorry, I'm very confused. So how do you get it? Yeah, so where am I spending my $12,000? Where am I spending?
Where's the money going, Ben? Is it going to AdWords? Like, where does the $12,000 go?
It's going to AdWords. You're paying Google money, saying, hey, because I don't know how many people here have AdWords. I know a few of you do, but when you go to AdWords, you essentially bid on keywords. So, and the value that Google has determined based on the cost per click, based on number of data that comes through, based on number of bids or whatever it is $12,838.64. If you were to go to Google and say, hey, give me the top spot on AdWords, that's how much you're going to expect to pay.
Yeah. And so what you're saying though is you pay for this, you get the top spot on Google, the paid spot, and you're likely to have a 40% like traffic from all those searches is 40% click-through rate potentially with 5% conversion. Is that what you're saying?
You're not going to get 40% traffic with AdWords. You're just not. Yeah, because as I said, people generally skip ads. They don't. It's.
So that 40% that you're talking about there, is that in relation to paid AdWord campaign or organic traffic just being on page 1 of Google?
That's organic traffic. That's if you're on the number 1 search term. If we go all the way back.
Yeah.
Good questions. I'm glad you're asking the questions, because I want everyone to be clear on what it is.
It's all right. The penny just dropped for all of us here.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. But just in case. All right. Okay. So if you look at this, that 12,000 is going to get you that. If you pay 12,000 to Google, it's going to get you there. It says ad. It has a business there. People just scroll past it. It's just the way. If you ask Google, as I said, they'll tell you that 40% of click-through rate comes through number 1 search. So this person here need a plumber. 40% traffic is going to that person's website.
Okay, so basically you're highlighting the value of being highly ranked and investing in your SEO and being represented on the first page organically. Is that correct?
In a nutshell, yes. Yeah. That's what I was going with that. I didn't mean to confuse. Yeah.
No, that's okay. I'm just vocalizing all the questions in my head and for the girls. I hope I'm covering it. One thing I'd also like to ask that a lovely lady in the front here very quietly asked me, is it like a bidding war? Is AdWords like a bidding war? So if you and I were to go for the same thing, Early Beach accommodation, and I was happy to bid, say, $3 per click, and you were happy to bid $3.50, chances are you'd be featured first. Is that right?
Through AdWords, yeah, that's how AdWorks works. AdWorks works on a bidding system.
But then if Ben's budget is $100 and mine is $200, as soon as his budget runs out, mine kicks in. So, yeah.
It's like gambling.
It's like gambling. It's like legal gambling.
Walk away.
So, right, we're on. We're all good. Any other questions for a minute, girls?
How do we know what keywords?
Keyword planner? Is it keyword planner? Google
keyword planner, yeah.
Yeah, I'll write it down, but we'll talk about that at the end as well. Ben can tell you a bit more about it.
Can I just ask a question? Yeah. Google keep bringing me
You'll keep ringing us.
Yes, you just keep ringing me and saying, let me help you out with your AdWords.
Yes.
Let's do this and let's do that. But every time they ring, they seem to spend more money.
Yes.
Price.
Yeah.
Is it worth even doing that or just write the whole thing?
It's not worth doing that. Ben and I put some packages together for you guys to have a look at and think about to give you an idea of what the costs are around. Show back. No, it's not show back. Sorry. But you can have a look at it and think about it. And probably what I suggest you do is have a look at these with somebody that you clearly know now, so you can see that he's a real person. I guess the thing is, I'm sure the guys at Google know what they're doing, and I've used them myself when I've been setting up Google shopping cart and all the rest of it. They're great. They step you through the process. But sometimes I do feel it's a bit faceless, even though you are talking to somebody on the phone. I would probably compare what they're offering you compared to what Ben's offering you, and then see how you feel about it. And you know, question us. Question Ben. If they come to you and say something that you kind of go, well, that could work for me, but I don't know if that's kind of right or is the value there, just let us know. Like, we can always unpack it and see, tell you what we think. So I suppose to say. Yeah.
I think that means you're very important, really.
Very. I was going to say, it does.
Yeah, just know what we say. Yes, get that. Yes, okay.
Everyone else is searching with Google, but Google searching with you. Radio Ben, you're on.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So is everyone clear on where we are? We're at what we're actually talking about, and 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. So with SEO, what to expect? Now, I know we've talked about you know, there's a bunch of revenue and things you can do and to improve your website. I really want to stress this point because I don't want people to leave here today thinking that getting the wrong impression. And I really want to highlight it with this point that good things take time. SEO is not going to happen overnight. You're not going to go on your website and send a whole bunch of powerful links to your website and then immediately rank #1. It just isn't going to work that way. A couple of years ago, it was a lot quicker on Google. You could potentially rank your website a lot sooner if you, you know, sent the right amount of traffic to it, whatever it is. But the algorithm has evolved where Google is a lot more cautious as to what they rank. They look at certain things on, you know, the number of links being sent to the website in a given day, for example, and a whole bunch of other stuff that goes into it that Google takes into account. So you want to ensure that you're doing it in a way that appears natural and organic to Google, like you appear like a legitimate person not trying to game the system. And that's why SEO is a medium to long-term investment. It's not going to happen in a day.
How long?
How long?
At least 6 months, 3 to 6 months. Like, it's not,
Yeah.
You know, you have to give it time to work, really.
Doing it, you can't just stop.
Yeah. How often do the algorithms like change?
How often do they change? How often do the algorithms change? This is why we have a bit, because they change a lot.
Yeah, it can change. It changes fairly regularly. That's why it's important to, you know, be constantly researching and constantly looking into what techniques work. And an example of that would be a couple of months ago, you know, when I talk about the quality of your friends. A couple of months ago, quantity was weighted slightly heavier over quality. You could have 1,000, you know, spamming links come to your website against a website which has maybe 1 or 2 really high authority links. In most cases, the person with 1,000 links come to the website would rank higher. You know, Google's since realized that people are just trying to game the system and has since devalued those websites. Those people have seen a huge drop in their websites, and the people that are more legitimate are getting quality links into the website in a more organic and natural way are ranking higher. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
We've just built a new website, and I probably should have asked this before, but we had a new website that's just gone live. So all that SEO work that we did on the old website, is that all lost now, or will that have gone over with my link? Well, I lost. Oh,
did you understand that?
I missed the second part of it. So there's a new website.
Yeah, it's the same URL, but it's a completely different web page that's been built, and we've just transferred that over, got rid of the old web page, and now we're using the new one. And I just wanted to know whether all that work that we've done, organic reach that we've done before.
Right. Okay, so your old website, is there a redirect to the new website?
Not
It's the same URL.
No, because the URL has just been basically swapped.
So it's the
Same
same address,
URL.
but everything's been changed. So the same
Right.
address, Ben, but everything within the website's been changed. All the content and everything's been changed. So all the SEO work that was done when it was the old website would still be working toward positive result SEO-wise for the new one?
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. If you rebrand your website, that's fine. You're going to still have the same links going into your website if you have links going in from social media or wherever it is. And it's not uncommon for websites. So if you look at websites naturally produce new content all the time. You know, blog posts and things.
Probably one thing I would say about that is you probably do want to check like your, we talked about the headers before, H1s and your metadata and all that kind of stuff. Like that probably wouldn't hurt to just confirm that if you've changed everything, that what is
totally run your build.
Yeah, so that kind of stuff, I probably would think just double check. Yeah, to be sure. But all your incoming stuff should be the same. It's the same place.
And again, going back to this whole thing, and I really want to push this point. The goal is to ensure you rank for relevant keywords in a safe and natural appearing way. The stuff we talked about with some social media, saying social media links to your website, like you guys can go out and build, 200 social media links to your website today. Because that's what Google expects, it's not going to freak out and drop your ranking. That's fine. But if you're going out and you're getting high quality links, like links from say Forbes magazine, I'm not sure what news providers you have up there, but we have Channel 7 News down here, links from those websites to your website, you spoke to whatever it is. If you have, say, all today, you get all these really high authority people linking to your website, it does look a bit suspicious. Yeah. So don't worry too much about that. But the stuff I mentioned today, Apple links, Google My Business, and social media, those are all safe links that you can link to a website in any manner you wish.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, we have a question.
So when you say that it'll take 3 to 6 months for SEO to kick in to do its stuff, how much time per month should be spent on SEO? Because I have two scenarios. I have 3 hours work put onto my SEO, then I've just bumped it up to, because I'm in season, for 10 hours SEO a month. And I just don't know where the level should be. Where should it?
Did you hear that, Ben?
I can't hear the question, sorry.
So, we're talking about how much time should be spent every month on SEO. So this, Marianne, sorry, lovely Marianne has spent like 3 hours a week. She's got on her
3 hours a month,
for her SEO assistant to work on her website in terms of SEO. It's high season now. She's just bumped it up to 10 hours a month. She's wondering, is there a kind of a benchmark time to be effective? Is it how big is your site? Is it it's pretty big. So what's your recommendation?
Yeah, it's hard to answer that question. It's essentially how long is a piece of string? It needs to be, I really want to push that it needs to come across as natural. If someone's spending 10 hours a month on a website, just building content on a website, I don't see a big issue with it as long as they're doing it in a way that is not going to cause red flags. Like they're not sending 1,000 spammy links to that website, which happens, unfortunately, but sending 1,000 spammy links to a website, in an afternoon.
I think though, honestly, Marianne, probably I would suggest is if you get reports from these people, so I'd be looking at the results and the traffic, and if you've invested in 10 hours versus 3 hours, you'd be hoping to see at least double the traffic. I would think. Like it takes time, yes, but you'd want to see some change in what they're getting back to then measure your results. And
I can see it on Google Analytics anyway.
You can, So, anyway, okay.
Yeah, if you have Google Analytics set up on your business profile, on your business website, sorry, fantastic. Have a look at that. But yeah, that's what that is.
Cool.
Thank you.
Cool. Ultimately, at the end, really want to tie into that. I'd encourage you, if you don't already have it kind of done on your website, to have it looked into. SEO ultimately helps you achieve an outcome, and I don't know what that outcome is for you all, but looking at potential dollar figures that could potentially be added to your business with the correct SEO being set up on your website and getting that number one position. Is it that you send your kids to private school? Is that you're able to hire someone to take over the business, retire early and spend time with the people you care about, pay off a mortgage or whatever it is? That's what SEO can do for a business. It's where it's at. It's, companies spend a ton of money on SEO, trying to get their business to number one for relevant search terms. because they want to achieve an outcome. So yeah, that's what I really want to close with.
Yeah, and I think too what Ben's saying is like a lot of SEO stuff. I'm sorry, is it can like it's not, unfortunately it's not going to be $2. You do have to commit to it a little bit, but the point of it is that once you commit to it, the return on investment, it should be like you put $1 in, you get $5 out. So, you put $1 in, you get your leads, you get your conversions, and then it all sort of flows through from there. But there are, varying levels of SEO. As we said, if I've Mariette, she was investing 3 hours a month, now she's bumped it up to 10. So it'd be super interesting to see. In fact, I'd encourage you to tell the girls when you come back in next month how that's changed for you. Because you should see, if you've already got an established SEO kind of format and then they're bumping it up, you should see results.
I would hope so.
I would hope so too.
Is it affecting bottom line?
Not at the moment, this is the issue.
Yeah.
But my SEO is only there. I have done SEO on and off over years, and I've just done it. It hasn't been 3 months.
Yeah.
And I know it needs to be 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting to see any real return because one thing or another, we've sort of missed our season.
Yeah.
So I'm putting in the groundwork now actually for almost 4 months' time, 8 months' time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I expect the SEO, the money we're spending on SEO, will see the results hopefully around next September, August, September.
Yeah.
That'd be about right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. And as Ben said too, it does take a little bit of time. So the fact that you've been pretty forward thinking enough to really start to iron our bumps out now, then you should have a pretty slick process. And
It's frustrating though because you want it now.
Yeah, you want everything now. Oh, what's your name, sweet? Sharon, sorry.
We talked a lot about Google, but are there any, like, we all use Google in Australia, but worldwide, is there anybody bigger than Google? Is it worth one about it?
So Ben, Sharon's from a charter yacht company, and she's asking whether or not, like, obviously Google's the default search engine for the majority of humans in Australia, but globally, is that the default one as well, or is there others that you should be aware of? Obviously Yahoo and Bing and the ones you mentioned before. China, like what do they use?
Yeah, so Google's the #1 search engine worldwide. That's the #1 in the world. In terms of search engines, there are too many to mention. Like Talita said, there's Yahoo. I went through a couple there as well for you guys. SEO is universal, however. It would make sense from, say, Yahoo's perspective. If Google is ranking a certain website #1, and because that website is the most relevant, if you're Yahoo, would you not want to have that at top of your search engines as well to remain relevant?
Information, yeah.
So SEO transcends all search engines.
Yeah. Cool. Next up.
Cool. And that's it. So opening up to a Q&A.
Right, I think she's thinking. Deb's thinking.
Can you just take us back to the page that's got how many users are on the internet right now? Please, Ben?
Yes.
I know, well, I want to know, is that globally or is it just Australia? Or
No, that's global.
Global.
It's Internet Live Statistics, isn't it, Ben? I'll write it down.
Yes. Yep. internetlivestats.com.
Wait, what is that?
internetlivestats.com.
Yes.
So that's based on global statistics, and am I correct in saying that we can only get SEO in Australia? Like our SEO will only work in Australia, is that right?
Okay, so yeah, good question. SEO can work anywhere. However, it depends on the keyword. So in the example I provided, we talked about Airlie Beach accommodation. It's going to get more traction in Airlie Beach. If you wanted to rank, say, in USA for that search term, that's possible as well.
How do we do that?
How do you do that? It's keywords, and also as well, it's relevant traffic. So if you have high authority websites being pointed to your website from companies in the US, for example, like Forbes or whatever it is, USA Today, that kind of stuff, that will give you traction with those kind of keywords over there.
Yeah. So are you suggesting that the links that have to come from US websites back to your website, and therefore you would rank higher in a US SEO search?
Potentially, yeah. If you want to rank higher in the US, I would drop the AU.
If you wanted to rank higher overseas or in the US, you would drop the AU, so not .com.au, just the .com.
Can you have two addresses like .au and
Yeah, you
.com?
can. Yeah.
You can on the same site.
You redirect
Redirect it. Okay.
Yeah, if you were, I would set up a redirect. And the good thing about redirects is the juice from the first website that's being redirected will be pushed through to the second one.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, Instagram's is like 1,000 photos a second. It's
The girls are all mesmerised by the stats.
emails. I'm surprised at how many emails have been sent.
So do you girls have any other questions for Ben? We will. Oh, hang on. Marianne has another one.
So where
Please.
does major traffic come to Airlie Beach from? Which country outside of Australia? Is it USA?
Why does that matter?
Depends on
Because
season.
you could target that country.
Depends on holidays,
Sales.
European holidays, Chinese New Year, things like that. It's
So
all
again,
around
you
between holiday season overseas.
So you could potentially be targeting them through
AdWords.
AdWords.
Okay. All right.
That country.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's a good question. And that kind of answers the other question as well. The search that I did for the 8,100 searches is purely based in Australia. That's where that information comes from. Now, going back to the earlier question about if I want to rank overseas, Airlie Beach accommodation, I don't know if that's going to be a search term that's going to be relevant in America. You'd have to change your keyword. You'd have to change the keyword to something more relevant, like, you know, Brisbane accommodation. Yeah, whatever it is.
What about if, can you be too broad, like Australian accommodation, or like, would that help?
Did you hear that, Ben? So can you be too broad? So like if you were to use a search term focusing on the States, but said something like Australian accommodation, would that be too broad a search term?
You can definitely search for that. You can definitely set that up as a keyword, but the amount of competition in that space.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they do like the best accommodation in Australia, and then you try and, you know,
Like as in the words, the
as
best.
in the word, like if I was going to Google the best
Yeah, you
accommodation
did the
in the US.
Yeah. So yeah. A technique that I use for video marketing, in line with that, is if I wanted to rank number one, like pretty much almost straight away, if I were to put something like really long tail, like you know, best chiropractors in Australia 2019. If that's the keyword I want to be found for, that will get me to number one straight away. So long tail keywords will get you ranked for more relevant search terms. But however, the amount of traffic for that, you know, who's going to look up best chiropractor in Australia 2019?
Yeah. Guys,
I know you were going to give us more information, but can we just talk about what the cost would be for Ben to,
I've got
what packages exist?
So we've got three for you. You may as well stay on the line, Ben, so you can explain if the girls have any questions. But we figured this would probably be.
Can we make Ben big again?
Oh, Ben, can you please make yourself big on the screen? Make yourself big. Get rid of your screen. Put your face on the screen. We'll be reading.
Can I just ask a question while you're there? Does your domain name have much relevance towards your keyword search?
Does your domain name have much relevance towards your keyword search, Ben?
As of the latest Google update, yes. If your business, say, you sell shoes, if you sell shoes and your domain name has, you know, Airlie Beach shoes, it's going to be easier for you to rank. However, in saying that, you know, you could be, I don't know.
So the one that Sharon's talking about, her business name is Cumberland Yacht Charters. So yacht charters.
Our URL is CCY.
Oh yeah, URL is ccy.com.au.
That's fine.
But it's quite an old URL though, isn't it?
Very old.
Yeah, it's quite a historic URL. It's not new.
Yeah, that is fine. You could have you know, Master Yachts as your business name, for example, or even something that's not even relevant. You could have I'm trying to think of business name.
Business name. What's your business name?
Stells.
Stells Photography.
Okay, so if your business name was just Stells, okay, you could have the business name as just Stells, but you could be about yachts. So it's like Google. Google wasn't Google until it became Google. It's the same thing as that. Stells could be what it is. Now, is it going to rank as easily? No, because it doesn't have the keyword in the domain name, like, you know, yachts. But it's still very possible. And if you look at, you know, a lot of the websites that rank for higher, rank highly, if the keyword's not necessarily the URL, they still rank. You
Mm.
just have to do it a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Ben, do you want to quickly talk off the packages that I've just presented the girls, if that's okay? So
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
first one is, I'll let Ben do the majority of the talking, but the first one is obviously getting your website SEO ready. So it's doing all the things that we talked about, like making sure your URLs are tidy and all the rest of it. I'll let you do the technique talk, please, Ben. Tell us all about them.
All right. Yep. Okay. So I'm just having trouble reading it up.
Down my TV. I'm going to take a photo of you and send it to you.
Thank you.
This is like, great. He's like, great, that's what I think. Everybody turn around and look at me and smile. Ben, that's with you. Wave, Ben, wave. Okay, thank you. Carry on.
Give myself 10 cheers.
Have you got it?
I'm just loading up the presentation, sorry, the slides. It's not actually opening, but I'll get the one that was handed out so you guys, I see what you guys are looking at.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so in front of you, you got the handout at the top left, get SEO ready. Is that what you're looking at?
Yep, that's the one. Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so do you want me to just go through all the packages?
Yeah, I think so. Just explain probably the differences. And obviously, there's the 3 different price points. So the first one and then what the 3 different levels are.
Okay, cool. So we've got the first one on the left, which is the Get SEO Ready package. So what this is in line with what we talked about in terms of headers and content and ensuring that the content is relevant to your website, ensuring that you have the correct keywords on your website itself, and that Google will read your website as Google friendly. We want to also ensure that the description and meta tags that we talked about on the Google search page are relevant and have your keywords. And we also want to ensure that you have Google Analytics set up to monitor your website traffic. That's the base package. And I believe you've got it in front of you. You've got the price on that one as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So that one is $275 for a one-off fee. So that's just getting it all sorted. So does that make sense, girls? Do you have any?
So it's just looking at our websites and
Getting-
telling us what needs.
Getting in there and probably doing it as well. I would think. Ben, that's actually you getting in there and tidying it up as well. Is that right?
Tidying it up, yeah. Like your things like anything that you've created yourself, I'm happy to, I would just leave there. But making sure that it's, when I run a report on the website itself, it's mobile friendly. The content is relevant with the keywords that are being searched for on Google. Your images are synced as well. Your images are not banner.jpg. It's actually, yachts or whatever it is. Yeah, so it's all relevant. We're doing all that kind of stuff there.
Yeah. Cool.
Make sense?
Next one is the package at $625.
Yeah, and so, yeah, sorry.
As we mentioned, sorry to cut you off, but as we mentioned, like you do need to give it 6 months to make it work. So there's no point trying to do it for a couple of months in our view and then cancelling it. The results just wouldn't be there, and we would feel that we haven't given you what you're paying for. So we have put a minimum of 6 months on the packages for that reason. So yes, please talk off. $625.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so what this is, it's got the first package in there. So it's the building quality site base, so everything I just talked about. We've also got building a social fortress and citations. So when we talked about sending social profiles to your website and also citations, which are Google My Business, Apple, Yelp, you'll get 100 plus social profiles sent to your website, which is giving you that natural juice that Google's looking for. Also as well, you will be ranked for your brand name. So whatever your company name is, that's what you'll be ranked for on Google. You'll be surprised that a lot of websites or businesses, when people search for them on Google, don't actually appear on even page 1. So we get you ranked for your brand name, making sure that you're on top of the page of Google for your brand name itself. So if someone searches for your business, they can find you. And you also get a monthly SEO report as well, just to show what I'm doing with your website for you. Yeah. Now that one, yeah, sorry.
Questions, girls? You're okay? Deb's got a question.
Sorry,
Yes.
I don't really know what my question is other than, what if we don't have capacity for, $200,000 worth of more work?
I actually think that you'd probably get that answer in the first one. Like I think you know, group in looking at your website, at the beginning, Deb, I think you'd be able to identify the kind of traffic that's available to you in terms of SEO. And then, is that right, Ben? Like, if Deb came on as a client, for example, as the SEO ready package, you'd probably, I'd imagine, do some sort of assessment in the way the accommodation example that you showed us. I would suggest you do some sort of an example like that so Deb could see the potential reach and value that she could get if she was to invest in SEO. Is that fair?
100%. Yeah, 100%. You will get, you will get relevant search terms for your business. Now, in saying that as well, if you have too much traffic and you can't handle it, you know, it's up to you how you want to approach it. Do you raise your prices? Do you, you know, turn people away? You know, it's whatever it looks like for your business. But in my experience, you know, it's better to have a whole bunch of customers than, you know, none.
Yeah. But I think, like, just to give the girls an understanding, obviously we wouldn't expect you to just go and launch into these packages. We didn't really know whether it's worthwhile for your business. I mean, obviously we believe SEO is worthwhile, but you know, you need to be able to manage whatever traffic you're getting and get the right traffic too. So that whole process around you talking to Ben, understanding that commercial photography is something you want to be found for. I'd imagine Ben would then sit with you and work out how that can be weaved into your website and through your SEO exercise. And then you can decide from that. He would probably present you with reports of search terms relevant to Ellie Beach, and then you can decide whether that's something you do want to be found for and if it's worth your investment in terms of your return on investment down the track.
Cool. All right. So any questions about that package itself?
No, I think that's pretty.
Oh, yes. Just ranking for 1 to 2 keywords. Is that ranking on page 1, or is that guaranteed?
Okay. Yeah. So that's the next package. Okay. So I'll go through that one as well. So the silver package. We've got the building quality site base. We're building a social fortress. We're also ranking for brand name, but we're also ranking for 1 to 2 keywords. So if you remember the example I gave earlier with the 5 keywords stacked.
So Ellie Beach accommodation spelled wrong. Hotel, blah, blah. Yep. So
what we'll be targeting is 1 to 2 keywords. So we'll be targeting 1 to 2 keywords that are relevant to your niche. So we'll be focusing on that and trying to get as much relevance for those 2 keywords. So, you know, social signals for those keywords, whatever it is, to get you ranking. Yeah, like you said, the goal is to get you on page 1 for those 1 to 2 keywords organically.
So if the keywords were like charter yachts Australia or charter yachts Ellie Beach, would you stack the keywords against that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what that is. Now, and I'll explain a little bit more about keywords in the next one. But the way that I do SEO, if you're working with someone who knows what they're doing SEO, if you're ranking for keywords, if you're targeting 1 to 2 keywords, it is not uncommon to begin ranking for, you know, tens, if not hundreds of keywords. It just happens.
So in Sharon's instance, her keywords or for any tourism that's based in Ellie Beach, the keyword search would have to be relevant. But can you make it based on Ellie Beach? Because as compared to a bookkeeper or someone who has a service, their keywords could be national, whereas local tourism would want to be local.
Are you talking about so where the people that are searching out from within Ellie Beach, or are you just talking about Ellie Beach being from outside? So say that again. So Ellie Beach being relevant to a product. Yes.
In
Ellie Beach Hotel.
As compared to a service, which could be a bookkeeper.
Ellie Beach accountant. Yeah.
That like anyone in Australia could use a bookkeeper. So only people in Ellie Beach will come into Ellie Beach will use a hotel. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the previous example. So if you were a bookkeeper that services customers nationwide, I'd have to look into it, but the keyword potentially could be bookkeepers Australia, for example, as opposed to.
Oh, okay, so yes.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
My brain was studying the Marianne, sorry.
Really.
Any other questions, girls?
Can I ask one from the presentation, or are we still on the?
No, okay.
If someone is using a term that relates to your business or to your product and it's misleading,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any, can you basically dog them into Google or whoever to...
how do you report somebody?
Yeah, like is that a thing? Can you do that? Is what
you get that?
So for example, Palm Bay used to have pictures of Whitehaven, and if people searched you know, weddingswithsundays.com.au.
Yeah.
They had bought that URL and were sending it to Palm Bay, Palm Cove, or whatever it is, up at Cairns.
Yeah, okay.
And we were like, no, you can't have that.
Yeah, okay.
So what happens then?
Yeah, how do you deal with that?
Okay, so that's more along the lines of, if I'm understanding the question correctly, reputation management, which is also part of SEO.
Yeah.
Are you talking about suppressing that link? So pushing that link off page one and making sure.
I think what Deb's talking about is if you recognise somebody's doing this, like if, say for example, this particular place that she's referring to were advertising themselves, the URL they bought was Weddings with Sundays, but it was actually an island resort called Palm Bay. So if you typed in Weddings with Sundays, you'd go to Palm Bay, which was, or Palm Cove or wherever, but not relevant, nothing to do with Weddings with Sundays. And and Deb's president.
I'm on the committee.
She's the guru of weddings and the Whit Sundays. So, you know, obviously that was an incorrect thing and these guys are doing the wrong thing. How do you deal with that? Can you report it? Can you tell Google? What happens?
Well, you can't report it. You just can't. It's their prerogative to create that website and put it there. But in my opinion, it shouldn't matter because if what the goal is to outrank them. And when I assess other websites and things that have been in place, I don't really care about the other websites. Because I know I can get you number one, for example.
So basically, regardless of whatever their URL is, if your SEO is sort of for what you're actually presenting and they're not being consistent with what they're presenting to Google and what they actually have on their website, then you should outrank them and therefore you should push them. Anyway, is that what you mean?
I've also got a question.
Yeah.
I have a big problem with people using my products to use their own AdWords to get them on their own. Is that what you were just talking about? Yeah. So we have a business called Ride to Paradise, and I'll type in Ride to Paradise, and there'll be like 3 different online travel agents that are AdWording Ride to Paradise. So then when I want to actually do AdWords for myself, it's really expensive.
Yeah.
And so we have to think differently about how we can even like basically market my own product. So like, what are the legalities of that? I mean, obviously they can do that, they still get their bookings, but I pay high commissions on that, whereas I'd rather rank the highest.
How do you deal with that then?
Okay, so the sound's coming in and out, but from what I understand, you've got people with websites that are using your keywords or your search terms to get stuff to happen.
Product names. Like they'll use Thundercat or they'll use Ride to Paradise. And what they're doing is using our name often to get people onto their website, and then they're redirecting them to their own products.
Right.
Yeah.
So
they've booked us enough to be using those AdWords.
Did you understand that? Did you hear it all?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Unfortunately, again, you can't report that, but there's a metric that Google looks at, which is called the bounce rate, which essentially is, it measures how long a person stays on a website. So if I were to search, what was your product?
Thundercat.
Thundercat.
Like
Thundercat's the product? Okay.
Thundercat, the adventure.
It's a bird.
You know, thunder, storm, cat, meow, meow. Doing charades.
Lightning, rain.
Okay. So
Sorry, mate.
no, you're right. So if I were to search Thundercat and I would go to this website and it's misleading and I click on it and I go through, and if I go on the website and it's not what I want, I'm going to click off that website, and that is the bounce rate. And what's going to happen to that website is, from Google's perspective, is looking at the amount of time spent on the website is 30 seconds or less. That website is not relevant to our users. Let's start to bring that down.
Oh, that's good.
So if you have analytics, so you can see your bounce rate as well.
So I should just keep clicking on it and just click it
out.
on.
Especially if it's an ad, you're spending their money. If it's an ad, you're spending their money. Click away.
Just click on this, please. The whole point is, I didn't say that in this room.
Hang on 1 second, Ben, they're chatting.
If someone's doing paid ads on your company name, and you stop that?
If somebody's doing paid ads with your company name, can you stop that? You can't, can you?
No, but I would take it up with Google.
So you report it through AdWords?
Yeah, if it's your actual company name, which is registered, and this is your company name, and people are actually doing things in that, and it's causing you issues, I would.
Some of them are agents doing even my products on it.
They don't sell your product.
They're not allowed to sell.
So is that through the AdWords portal, Ben, that you go through? You can make a sort of complaint.
Yes,
You can. I would raise it with them. Now, in terms of what you're going to get out of it, I don't know. And the reason being is because there is no internet police, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's the Wild West. If you go on, if you had a customer who was potentially dissatisfied with a product or service you provided them, they can go on scam reports and report you. Or if it's a competitor, they can go on scam reports and report you.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's just the way it is.
Returns for your business. Yeah. Like with Sunday Photographer.
Yeah.
Someone's called their business that name, but we're all with Sunday Photographer.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, sorry, dude, you got no leg to stand on.
Yeah.
You know, yours is a bit unique, but.
Deb's just saying that with her business and a lot of the other businesses, like someone's business is called With Sunday Photographer, but obviously that's a search term for her business as well. So it's such a grey area.
Yeah, but you want to ensure that your business gets traction with your customers at instant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, girls. Last questions. One last question.
Yeah, I have two questions.
Yes.
This sort of stuff, the SEO, like if you've got someone involved to do your SEO like this, is it all behind the scenes or is it just creating a whole lot more work for us? You know, like I get it if you're saying go and build your own SEO and I work on it every day, but for someone to sit there and say, okay, Lizzie, now I need to write this blog post, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so you're asking basically, based on these packages, would we be coming back to you and saying, you can look case for this, but we need you to do this much work to make this work? Is that what you mean? Yeah, so
you need to spend 4 hours a week
writing blog posts.
We just save you 3 hours.
Did you understand that question?
Yeah. Fantastic question. And the answer is no. Yeah. The idea behind SEO is that if you're paying someone to do it, is they take over that SEO part of it, so you don't have to worry about it. All you're really worried about is getting those reports sent to you, and you're looking through them and making sure that the work is being done. But you don't have to create your own content and all that kind of stuff unless you want to. But you don't have to spend 4 hours a week doing stuff.
It's a completely bad idea. Like we all, in terms of keeping your website refreshed, and you probably should really be doing a blog post a month.
But
not,
I get that we're doing it.
You're not going to have to build a whole new website. No.
Yeah, and is there going to be stuff happening in the background? All of a sudden, you get Facebook posts that is the SEO so far buried that you don't actually see it affecting your day-to-day operations? Is what I'm saying.
Did you hear that? So the SEO, the work that you do with the SEO and the SEO packages, is that sort of what's your first name? Sorry. Liz. Like Liz is asking whether it would affect her within her day-to-day. Like I don't believe you would see what Ben's doing. He would do it behind the curtain sort of thing, and then give you a report at the end of the month and say, this is what we did, this is what we're focusing on next month, and the next month it'll be, this is what we did, this is the results measured and analysed. That's what you're, Okay, yes. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So Liz, great question. And if you look at, the way SEO is kind of done, it's, you don't see that through Google. You just see searches. So all that happens on the back end, and you're essentially paying someone to take over that part of the business, like the marketing aspect. It's no difference to you paying for AdWords or paying for Facebook ads or, putting up a billboard on a main street and saying, right, this is my business. Come see my, get my services or whatever it is. That's what SEO is on the back end.
Yeah. Cool.
You don't have to do it.
Any other questions?
When you sign up for something and then you're like,
Just last question about blog posts, Ben. Are they still relevant? I guess in an SEO context, I would suggest that you should be blogging with the terms that you are trying to be found for in terms of keep SEO. And then, if you're putting your images in there, you'd want to, make sure that they're meta-titled correctly, your headings, H1, all that sort of stuff. I think it's just nice to see it on a live website as much as I think Google still appreciates it when you keep your website alive as such, does it not? Yeah. So if you have it's like when you go to someone's Facebook page and it's active, but they haven't posted since 2012, and you're like, oh, okay, they're kind of a bit busy. So, but not everybody looks for a blog, and it depends on the business. Like, there may be no reason. I mean, the whole point is to find content. So if you're dry cleaning, you think, oh, it's a pretty boring business. What else are you going to blog about? But it might be about caring for your clothes at home, or stain removal. There's heaps of topics you can do. Accounting, getting around tax, getting your ambassadors due. There's loads of different things. It's about creatively finding those topics And if you can't come up with them, the first place I would recommend you look is go into your own inbox. What have you subscribed to that's relevant to your business that you find interesting? And then put your spin on it. And that might only be 2 or 3 sentences. Then reshare it to your own Facebook page and say, this is from Social Media Examiner, or this is from wherever. And this is a great article about how to care for your cotton garments, blah, blah, blah. So it doesn't have to be as hard as it might. I think initially we all get stuck and go, oh God, what am I going to write about? And that's what happens. And then you grow into a hole and nothing happens. So yeah, but it shouldn't have to be that hard. So
is the blog the only way to keep it updating on your website?
Oh, no, not at all.
Changing your photos.
Change your photos.
Well, I know that's easy for a photographer, but like,
yeah,
because I haven't done it.
Yeah.
No, well,
Not, it's just the default way it is. You know, you kind of default to that because that's more the page that you would expect to see change on. You know, on a website, you go to someone's blog post, news page to see what's going on with them and their marketing, their industry, marketing industry.
Yeah.
So it just depends. And look, I'm guilty of it too. Every now and then I'm like, oh shit, I haven't done a blog post for a couple of months. But the beauty is you can backdate them so that somebody that's new to you goes, oh, she's so consistent. She's done one every month for the last 3 months. Oh yeah, she did them all last week. That doesn't matter because they look like they've been posted previously. So you can make it look alive for longer than it has been if you haven't done it for a while too. So
What tip?
yeah. Ben, we'll let you go, mate.
thank you.
Okay.
I shall give you a call.
Okay.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
See you, sweet. Bye.